2 here. So if you guys remember from week 1, and I'll just recap on, everything that you guys have all done so far here. So if you remember from week 1, everybody here on this call right now has completed the Get Started training. You've completed the extended Get Started training. You guys are on VET, so getvetnow.com. I know you're all on that, watching your videos, getting your education. I know you guys have registered for the regional in Detroit or wherever the local one is around you. And I know that you guys have also signed the contract and gave it to your upline shareholder, right? You guys have all signed your contract and gave it to your upline shareholder. One of the prerequisites right away, right? Yeah. You have a Premier Custom Kit on monthly delivery. Premier Custom Kit is $300 and over. You have 30 days of samples on hand, a 100-person prospect list, contact, and you have a journal and a whiteboard. Everybody's all on track with all that stuff, right? Yes? Thumbs up? No?
Yes.
Good. Now, guys, remember, if you don't have it, I need you guys to speak up. We got to be engaged here with this one because eventually we will find out. And if we're just jumping on, trying to just fit in, trying to just hide, is that going to help us grow at all? If we're just jumping on, listening, and going through the motions?
No, it won't help.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So you guys are going to see. Me. Really kind of holding you close to the fire here, so that way we make sure everybody else, is constantly hitting their goals. Because if we don't execute the action steps that we're giving, basically we're just jumping on and just singing Kumbaya and just holding hands and hugging each other and just keeping everybody happy. But the key thing is, guys, is we take action. So great job for everybody last week. Great job for everybody in Grand Rapids and the Detroit local success training. Huge response. Man, you guys are on fire. I'm excited for this coming Saturday in Vermont and this coming Saturday at my house for the local success training coming up. So just keep it up. So last week's summary, our key learnings. Last week you learned about VET, being an entrepreneur, your why, dream, crusade goals, your 4 levels of learning, the goal of becoming a level 4 learner, setting up your Premier Kit, joining a challenge group, the 3x3x4 residual example, your network, your list. Just out of curiosity, what did you guys pull from last week's lessons that really stood out to you? What were some of the lessons that you guys learned? Maybe from the level 4, the 4 levels of learning, maybe maybe the challenge parties, maybe the tips, maybe the 3x3x4 residual, maybe the videos that you guys watched. Anybody want to shout out some stuff? Maybe you set out.
Project their fears on you.
Say that.
Don't let others project their fears on you.
Oh, I like that. I was actually just talking with that to Carol today. She was in one of her meetings today at work, and somebody's like, oh man, all these companies are out there on Facebook and they're all trying to sell everything and buddy buy V and everybody was trying to make her feel lower just because, they really, and I was telling Carol, I was like, they hate on you because, they want to do what you want to do. Like they're projecting their insecurities on you. So that way, because they see that you actually doing stuff with your life, you're everything that they want to be. And I love it. So I love that one. Who else?
I was going to say that was my favorite part too, because I have that a lot of times where people want to be like, oh, you're doing that, and it's like, it's really a downer, when people are trying to make you feel. So it's like, you know what? I'm doing it. I like it. I believe in the products and that's what it is, And so that really hit home for me because I have a lot of people that are negative about it.
Perfect.
I would also have to agree. I don't know. I haven't done this before. Can everyone see me now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We can't see you.
I don't know, I haven't done this before. Yeah, I would have to agree. I've suggest some things to people, and just what she said. It's
Perfect. Anybody else? 4 levels of learning. Maybe the anything that we picked up last month. Maybe on the videos. Maybe on the tips. Anything.
This is Marion. The 4 levels of learning, the conscious competence, learning that's where a lot of people stop, because it's like you know what to do and how to do it, but you don't do it. That really kind of touched home for me, because it's like, oh, I'm so tired, but it's like I know what to do, and I have great guidance and great leadership, just making myself, pushing through and doing it, because I really do want my goals and my dreams. So, and that's another one I like too, that he's talking about the difference between the dreams and your goals, and how some people don't know the difference, and you can tell. So now I've been looking around at trying to think about some people at work or people that I know that are doing that, that don't really know the difference.
I love it. Now, here's a question for you. What are we doing to instill, what adjustments do we make into our lives so that way it's not constantly that's not constantly our story?
Yeah. Basically, really I've been visualizing like really what I want for my life. I've been doing that, since we started this, really focusing on not at night, just like, oh, for 2 minutes, like, oh, I would love to be on the beach, whatever. But really just during the day, all day, when I can, kind of just mentally close my eyes and think about my dreams and my goals. And it's kind of reigniting a fire for me to push through. Like I had a neon at like 5:30, so I wouldn't be tired tonight, so I could do what I needed to do.
I love it. All right, great job. Well, appreciate you guys chiming in there. One of our VI-isms, one of our values of the company is actually be engaged. Be engaged, speak up. You guys are our future leaders that we're developing right now. So, you don't ever feel like, oh, should I speak up? Should I not speak up? Should I say something? Should I not say something? If I say something, am I going to look like the one that's the weirdo that looked like they weren't paying attention or anything like that? So I see 3 people pointing at themselves right there. So guys, and the one thing that we talked about last week was do it scared. Do it scared. When you're on this list, hold on, let me go ahead and need to cut all this out. So when you're on here, right here, the purpose of all this stuff here is to grow. It's to grow. It's to go through this. Is it to go through the motions? Is it to go through the motions or be intentional about your growth here? It's to be intentional. Be intentional. So the action steps that we focused on last week, if you guys remember, were to expand your network from 100 to 300 to 500 names and contact a minimum of 3 a day. So we had real simple action steps last week. Contact 3 a day. All you had to do is contact 3 a day. Maybe a phone call, shooting out a text message, shooting out a Facebook message, shooting out an email, or in person. So there's just 5 ways of doing it right there. Who went 21 for 21 and contacted a minimum of 3 per day? Who went 21 for 21 and reached out to at least 3 per day? Bernadette? Hey, all right. Tell us how you did it.
I just made the determination every day. I would make 3 calls or 3 text message, and I just wanted to make sure that I constantly was talking to people and giving them a heads up. And I just went through my Facebook and said, I'm going to contact this person, these 3 people first, and I'm going to contact these 3 people. I'm going to call these 3 people. So that's what I did.
I should actually pause right there. Everybody give it up for Bernadette. For the first time, and I think forever, you just went out there and you just qualified for you got your $300 and what dollars in product for free, 330 points or something like that for free. How many points did you earn last?
300, I think, or 350. something like that.
350. Everybody give it up for Bernadette.
And then I got one customer today.
And you got one customer today?
Mhm.
Hey, all right, all right. So what that means, guys, is she got 300 and so basically she got her product for free, so she got 350 points downloaded to her back office. So how much free product or how much product does she have to pay if she wanted a $350 order? How much does she have to pay? 0. She uses her points that the company's actually downloaded on there. And she doesn't actually get 350 points because of the what? She gets more. She gets like $410 in free product because she uses $410 after the 15% discount and free shipping. She probably actually gets $410. The total will come to $350. So she uses her 350 points and she does it. How many people want Bernadette in their group right now? How many people want 3 people in their business that just did what Bernadette did just now? You guys realize that if you did exactly what Bernadette just did, if you found 6 people to do what Bernadette just did, you guys would be a regional director making about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Oof. Think about that one now. Okay, so who else went 21 for 21? 18 for 21? 18 for 21?
I've been talking
No, but
about.
you couldn't have done the extra 3. You could have just.
Well, hold on. I've been talking to everyone I see. I've been talking to. So I haven't been counting. I've one day I reached out to 11. The other day was 6. Every person I see, I've been just walking up to them, and I get the bank at Aldi's today, at Menards today, the cashier, and all I'm asking is, do you know a couple people that want to lose 10 pounds? And then I grab their interest, and then I try to get them like, well, can I get your phone number? Now the girls always look at me like, why would I give you your number? I'm like, I got a 10-minute video to send you, and just tell me what you think. And I act like it's not a big deal. It's not slime. Now, have I landed a customer? No, but I have like 13 people that have shown me they're interested. I just got to try to close.
Hey, great job, brother. Just keep focusing on the activity. If you focus on the activity enough, the start dates will start happening. So eventually the production will happen. I guarantee you with you, it's going to all of a sudden you're going to watch an influx of people just literally ordering. Everybody's watching. Everybody's following. So keep it up, brother. Great job. Great job.
I also did a similar thing. I've just been going up to people and telling them would they be interested in getting their phone numbers, and they seem to be interested. They said they'll give me a call back if they are. But I'm just going to plan on giving them a call again because most likely they're not probably going to give me a call back since they don't have enough information.
Now, are these cold or are these warm leads?
They're cold leads.
Cold. I would start with your warm first.
Oh, I've been doing that as well. But as I'm working, I'm talking to other people and, just reaching to people that I haven't even talked to for 7-8 years. Just kind of like reconnecting back with them and see.
Yeah.
And there have been a couple that are interested. One of my friend's father that I've never met personally, he has so much ton of weight to lose, and we're trying to get him interested. So just some things.
Perfect. Just keep working with George and Morna and Pam over there, and you're in some good hands over there. That whole group is hot right now. So that whole group is breaking ADs, Rising Stars, PQV Rising Stars. You're working with all of them right now. That's probably one of the hottest outside of Detroit crew. That's a hot crew right now to work with. So, okay. So who actually went out there and scheduled their first party? Who scheduled their first party for the month? That was like one of the big ones. Who got it?
I have 3 I have 3 scheduled. Well, 3 on the calendar with Rachel.
Whoa! All right. Well, here. What I did is I'm pulling an audible on you guys. You guys didn't expect me to do this, but guess what I got? Guess what I'm going to be filling up here at the end of the call. So I'm going to go ahead and buzz through this right now. So if I were y'all, and I know you already scheduled your challenge party, so it's not going to be a big deal, because you already have a party in your head and you already got it in your calendar. So I got my calendar right here, and your guys' job is to keep me out of my house at night as much as possible, in your homes and in your team's homes as much as possible. So what top 20 leader in the company do you guys going to have access to that to? How cool is that? You guys are going to have one of the founders lid group members in all your guys' homes to do all this. And the good news is at the end of the call, I'm going to be writing down every single one, and I'm going to try to make it not only into every single one of your homes for your challenge parties, but guess who else? The people that you introduced me to. Correct. There we go. But it starts with us. So make sure you got that scheduled. Have your couple of scheduled, and your schedule your 2-on-1 sit downs with the higher level contacts. I'm going to go ahead and buzz right through this here so we can actually get into the lesson. Last week we watched the Why Dream Crusade Goals by Kyle Pacetti. We also listened to the 4 Levels of Learning by Nick Sarnicola on your vet videos. We also watched Your Network by Rod Schulhauser. Now, guys, if you didn't watch those videos, I'm not saying you're wasting your time, but you're going through the motions with this. And if you go through the motions when you're trying to go through your workout in the gym, how well does your results come through?
They don't.
They don't. Now, if you're intentional with your workout and you're going through the pain and you're really going through that stretching period, when you're going through that growth period, then how well does your results come through in the gym? They do. They don't. So last week's goal was to get 1 customer. I know a few of you went out there, got your customer and or promoter. The next steps, add them to your Facebook group. Make sure you go through do a welcome call. But the big one was connect all your customers and the promoters that you have. Make sure that you do a 3-way call and connect them to your upline promoter, okay? So let's go into lesson number 2. Who's ready for the lesson? Who's ready for some material? Who's ready for some verbiage? Who's ready for some the nuts and the bolts here? Anybody? This one, this lesson I'm actually very excited about here. So goal for week 2. Your goal for week 2, because you've already planted enough seeds, now you have enough people in your funnel. And because you plant seeds, because you planted them, now eventually they will be starting to harvest here pretty soon. So our goal for week 2, write this down. Goal for week 2, 2 customers and or 2 promoters into your business. The key thing that we're trying to avoid at this point right now is the entrepreneur roller coaster. Anybody experiencing or have experienced the entrepreneur roller coaster right now?
Yep.
So the entrepreneur roller coaster. I'm gonna explain how it is. So what happens is you joined, you're excited. Okay, and then what happens is your first no. You're all high, you're excited, and what happens when you get your first no? Right after you're high, first no, then you're whoop, then you're down, and then all of a sudden somebody has a positive Facebook post, and then where are you at?
You're high again.
You're high again, and all of a sudden then you're getting all excited, and then you got this customer. She's she needs to lose 40 pounds. But what happens is she's all ready to get started on a challenge, and then she decides to quit, or she decides not to order a $300 Premier Kit. Then where are you at? Then you're down, and then all of a sudden you have a promoter that you have somebody that's been following you forever, and all of a sudden they're high. Guys, it's an entrepreneurial roller coaster, okay? And it's the exact same thing in your life. It's the exact same thing in maybe your relationships. It's the exact same thing in your spirituality. It's the exact same thing over and over and over again. So the key thing is just constantly just staying level. Because if you're on an entrepreneur roller coaster, I see a lot of folks look at it and they're just like, I can't take this. This is too much emotion. This takes so much emotion out of me more than anything. Because I'm high, I'm excited one minute, I'm low excited one minute. I don't like we talked about last week. Do you guys remember last week how we talked about don't focus on what can you not control? Remember what we talked about last week?
You can't control when they start.
You cannot control when they start, but what can you control?
Your activity.
You can control your activity. You cannot control their start date, but you cannot control their start date, but what you can control is your activity. And the thing I love about this is eventually a ratio will appear. Eventually a ratio will appear. So for me, I wasn't getting very many folks. So I had to talk to a lot more, okay? What I lacked in skill, I made up in major numbers. What I lacked in skill, I made up in numbers. So I just simply talked to more people. But what I didn't focus on was, I didn't focus on when they were going to start. And even if I did start somebody, I didn't get attached because what's the percentage of people that do the work? Remember that old expression? And that's in everything. What percentage of people do the work? You guys remember that old saying?
20%.
20% of the people do
80%.
80% of the work.
work. You guys, it cracks me up now that I think about this now, compared to when I first got started. But 20% of the people do 80% of the work. So that means if you have 10 promoters in your organization, how many are actually going to be really doing something? 2. So if you only have 3 promoters in your organization, is there even time or is there even a reason to start saying my people aren't doing anything yet?
No.
It's the math. But do we bring somebody in? Do we want it so bad for other people sometimes?
Yep.
We want it so bad for other people sometimes. Now, here's the key thing is everybody can lead you to at least one. Key thing is just bring in the numbers, just keep going, just run the math, run the ratios, run the statistics. That will eventually end up coming. It's the folks that kind of just sit back and wait on the 3 people that they brought in or that constantly are in that emotional roller coaster. Because if you're an emotional roller coaster, do people want to follow people that are stable or emotionally unstable?
Stable.
Stable. Now, why is that?
Because they're consistent.
Because they're consistent. People want to follow people that are consistent. They'll still follow you, so don't sit there and think like, oh my gosh, I'm an absolute mess. I'm never going to have success in this business. That's not it at all. If you know your goal and you know your vision and you know where you're going, people will follow that just based on simply because so many folks out there, they're in a roller coaster ride themselves. So you got to figure, okay, this person has no vision or they're blind themselves. So would a blind person go follow another blind person?
No.
You ever see a blind person walking around with a blind seeing eye dog?
No.
No. You guys are their vision. And so you just really have to believe that, okay, I don't know, I'm not an expert at this yet, but I know I will be. Just know that. Know we're going to be doing it scared and you're going to be working with the folks. So here's where we're going to be spending our week. The difference between activity versus productivity, okay? So where do we spend our time, our VI time? So you got to figure, okay, if I only have 10 hours per week to do this business, okay? I only have 10 hours per week to do this business. Now, guys, I worked 60, 70 hours a week when I was building this, so even I had the 10 hours to do this. We have the time to do it, but some of us, we tend to fill up our time with stuff that's not income-generating activities. And I don't have any problem with Facebook scrolling. I don't have any problems with being on the bowling league. I have no problems with being all that stuff. But when we're asking where's the time go, have you guys ever been on Facebook and started scrolling and got lost for 30 or 45 minutes?
Yep.
You guys understand how fast 30 minutes will go by on Facebook?
Yep.
We don't even realize. Have you guys ever got caught up on YouTube and pushed one video and then the next thing you know, it brings you like your 7 or 8 videos in? Like you go there for maybe a motivational thing and by the time you're on it, it's like 22 deformed celebrities out there that you didn't know. And the next thing you know, you're on that video right there. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, Mark Wahlberg's got a 3rd nipple. I mean, it was just like, I started by listening to a Tony Robbins and a John C. Maxwell video. And all of a sudden it took me to like 3 or 4 more videos and then some Mark Wahlberg thing post up. I'm like, how the heck did I get here? That was 45 minutes. I counted. So we have the time. It's just that these little distractions, these little cares take up all of our time. So we really got to be really intentional with it, because if we don't control our calendar will control us. So the 10 hours per week, let's say you got to put into Vibe, 60% of it should be put into what?
IGAs,
IGAs. What's an IGA?
income generating activity.
Income generating activities. So that means 6 hours of your week is put into IGAs, income generating activities. You guys know how long I've been in, for 9 years now, okay? 9 years. Have I even come close to talking to everybody that I know?
No.
And the reason why is because I had a huge list. I had a 300 to 500 person list. And do I keep constantly adding people onto that?
Yes.
Do I meet people every day?
Yes.
Do I recruit those people every day?
No.
No. I'm always just putting them into my funnel, always just putting them into my funnel. I wish I had enough time to go keep constantly on that, but you'll always be spending 60% of your time in our IGAs, income generating activities. Is Facebook scrolling an IGA?
No.
Is finding the perfect shake post or the shake recipe and posting it to Facebook an IGA?
No.
No. The other 20% is on retention. So, 20% of your time is following up with your customers once a week, following up with your promoters once a week, building those relationships. And then the other 20% of your time is spent on what?
Education.
Education. What's education?
Vet videos.
Vet. You could just simply do this on vet alone. 20% of your time is spent on education. Where do you guys think 60% of that time out of those three things is spent the most on?
Education.
Why?
That's where you feel comfortable.
We're getting ready to get ready. We're getting ready to get ready. People spend 60% of the time of their time on education. People spend 60% of their time, sometimes 80% of the time, sometimes 100% of the time on education. They're getting ready to get ready because it's much easier to go out there. Do you guys know a lot of broke, smart people out there? Isn't it funny how when you're out there trying to promote the business or try to promote the product, isn't it amazing how smart everybody gets all of a sudden? Like all of a sudden they're a financial advisor or they're a scientist. You know what I mean? It's just like they know everything about everything. They're a jack of all trades, but they're a master of what?
None.
None. They're a jack of all trades, but a master at nothing. And guys, I'm going to tell you what right now, this would be like me telling you guys, hey, tomorrow before you head to work, I want you to wait till all the lights are green, then I want you to take off, okay? So before you head to work tomorrow, wait till all the lights are green, then I want you to take off. How long would you guys be sitting at your house?
Forever. Jay. Forever.
Forever. There's never a perfect time. You just got to what?
Go.
You just got to go. And don't overthink it. Retention is spending time with people that have already enrolled. Education is logging into calls and digital. Vet. IGAs is just income generating activities. Action step. Schedule your second challenge party because you guys already scheduled your first one, right? So now we schedule our second challenge party. And I'll tell you what's fun about that is once you actually schedule your first party, I can't wait for everybody. Actually, there's quite a few people on this call right now that their teammates are scheduling their parties. 3 of them scheduled their parties, and on their very first party, they went PQV Rising Star. In their very first party, they went PQV Rising Star. How many of you guys want those in your team? PQV Rising Stars, meaning they brought $2,000 worth of customers their very first party. Now, there's some folks on here going, well, I can't do that. I can't do that. Wrong attitude, wrong mentality. Are there people out there in the world that can do that, that are in your network? Absolutely. I've never said this business wasn't for me. I said, I remember I was sitting there thinking, you know what? I'm going to go find the 3 people that it is for. I'm going to go find 3 people that it is for. Because there's a lot of folks out there that are looking for that right there. So schedule your second challenge party. Being busy versus being effective. Busy equals scrolling through Facebook, like we talked about, sorting your contacts, thinking about the business. None of them are income. None of them generates income. Well, I'm just checking my Facebook, building my stuff. No. Effective means that you're contacting 3 a day, You're having the follow-up conversations, presentations, and sampling. So focus on what you control, okay? Focus on what you control. You can't control people's decisions. You can't control if someone joins. You can't control if someone is a leader. Can you guys control if somebody is a leader or not?
No.
But do we force them to be a leader sometimes? Do we force them to take on leadership qualities because they told you they want to get in, they told you they wanted to become a leader, and they told you that everything that they wanted? They said all the right things.
Yes.
They said all the right things. All you control is your activity. So there's safety in numbers. Don't go for yeses. Maybe a simple way I can help you guys not be in a roller coaster ride is maybe go for no's. I alluded to this a little bit last week, but instead of going for yeses all the time, if it takes you 1 out of 10 peeps to talk to find your stud promoter that wants to come in and promote with you or be a customer, go for no's. Go for no's. That way you're setting yourself for success. And you're not going to set yourself up for failure right there. The law of averages, when you talk to enough people, an average or a ratio will appear. Now what happens is I started talking when I first started doing this, I got 1 out of 10, okay? And then because I kept going, because I kept running the ratios, I kept running the numbers, what happened to the second time I talked to 90 people? How many did I get out of 10? Everybody I talked to out of 10. 2 or 3. And then the third set of 90 folks that I actually started talking to. Then how many did I start, accumulating into my business? 3 or 4. Why is that?
Skill.
I started developing skill. I started to get better. The beautiful thing about human beings is they will always figure it out. We are not stupid beings. As long as we are not going through the motions, as long as we are being intentional, we will always figure it out. We will always figure it out. But if you don't ever know the why, you will never figure out the how. Okay? If you don't know your philosophy, what's going to drive you? If you never figure out the why you're doing this, you will never figure out the how. Like when I hear people say, well, I don't know how to do this, it's because maybe that you're on 2 days and then off for what?
1 or 2.
20. 5, 10, 20. It's not being on for 2 days, off for 10. Now it's okay to be on for 4 or 5 days and then take 1 or 2 days off. Guys, what we do is it's very time consuming. It doesn't actually do a lot. I mean, it's not requiring a whole lot of skill set really to do this business, but you will develop the skill set over time just by simply being the consistent one over and over and over again. So basically, talking to small amounts of people can demise of your potential in this industry. So if you only have 10 or 15 people in your little circle that you're talking to, if you only have 10 people and you're kind of like a shark and you're just circling around the same 10 people over and over and over and over and over again, do you guys think that you're going to have success with this business?
No.
No. It's the law of averages. It's a numbers game. You literally have to find safety in numbers. Safety in numbers. Amateur networkers, sell, professionals, sort. Okay, so amateur networkers sell, professionals sort. So the pearl diver analogy. You guys seen that at the LST this past weekend in Grand Rapids and Detroit? And you guys will also see it at my house this Saturday. So some will, some won't, so what? And there's another one, someone's waiting. Some will, some won't, so what? And there's a fourth one, someone's waiting. Someone's praying every single day for you to reach out to them over and over and over again. Ask me this real quick. Has the challenge impacted your guys' life in some form of way? Has the challenge impacted your life, maybe giving you that hope, maybe giving somebody else that hope that you've introduced it to, maybe that light at the end of the tunnel, something that you've been praying for? Has the challenge provided something like this into your guys' life?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys think there's a chance that every single night, with the world being 75% overweight and with 80 to 90% of them scared to death, praying for a financial opportunity to come into their household every single day, do you think there's a chance that there's people out there waiting?
Yes.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
You have to be a pearl diver. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Someone's waiting. Someone's waiting. I am so glad someone didn't say, man, Quady is way too cocky and that kid is just an idiot. I am not talking to that guy because that guy does not have his life together. I am so glad somebody did not say that. Everything we do is about filling the funnel. So the action step is to continue to connect to 3 prospects per day. Promoting the expert. So what you're doing is when you're actually on the phone, who is an expert, by the way?
We're all
Jenny
experts at something.
Jenny is. Who is an expert, by the way, in this business? Everybody. Marion is an expert. Pastor Dave is an expert. Krista is an expert. Jody is an expert. Mark is an expert. Dovin is an expert. Erica is an expert. Shantae is an expert. Alema, Morna, Bernadette, Marion, George. I was getting to you, Jorge. You're last. You're last on the total vote there. So every single one of you guys are an expert. Why?
Because we all have our own story.
You all have your own story, and you're very relatable. You guys put me on a phone with somebody. Sometimes my story can be intimidating. But if I were to put somebody on the phone with maybe Pastor Dave, his very first week he made $1,200 in the business, and he got his $300 of product for free. Jason Dobin is a small business owner right there. He works so many hours, it's not even funny. I would rather put one of my prospects on the phone with Dovin than I would have them on there talking to me about my story. Why is that?
Because Jason appears to be busier than you.
Appears to be busy, but his story is what? So much more what?
Relatable.
Relatable. Believable. So the purpose of what you're doing is an expert is anybody that's been involved longer than you. What is their purpose? The purpose is to move contacts forward. When do I use them? Anytime you are stuck with one of your prospects. How do you promote them? So the easiest way to promote them is, hey, George, I know that you said that you've been interested in taking a look at some information. What I want to go ahead and do is I actually have my friend Dovin. I've already reached out to Dovin beforehand. What I want to do is I want to connect you with my buddy Dovin. He's actually a small-time business owner. He does very well with this company. He has a huge heart, and this guy is actually going to take over Saginaw. So I really want you to be able to take a listen to him real quick and have him kind of get his perspective on it, okay? Hold on 2 seconds. Now, did I ask my prospect if he wanted to talk to somebody?
No.
What happens if I ask my prospect, I say, hey, George, do you maybe want to kind of talk to somebody about this?
They're going to tell you no.
They're going to tell you no every single time. We don't want to connect them because we feel like we're pushing them. We feel like we're ambushing them, okay? But I don't ask because what happens is when you ask if they want to talk to somebody, basically what you're saying is, hey, so can I put you on the phone with somebody that can go ahead and try to hard close you, make you feel stupid for not buying, or put you in maybe put you in an awkward position to where you feel like you have to buy? Can I go ahead and connect you to him? You might as well say that because that's what's going on through your head while you don't want to connect them. And by presenting it like that, you're basically putting them, you're making them feel like they just got to know that it's just going to be safe. Pam must have got a customer or something, huh? Alema got a customer? Yeah, I'll stop the call for that. High five over the phone. High five over the phone. Everybody give it up for Alema.
Way to go.
You guys timed that out. George, you totally set that up. You totally.
Yeah, he did. Look at him. Yeah.
We're supposed to be like 60% IGAs. This is supposed to be our 20% education. And Alema's like, forget that. I got to be doing some IGAs during this. So you keep talking, Quady. So the three-way call is the most of the time you can use an expert via three-way call. Have an exact time for parties are all available. Tell the expert the prospects where they left off. So for instance, hey, Dovin, I got George on the other line. He's already seen the video. He's seen this. He's seen that. He's seen that. Can you mind sharing your story real quick with him? Okay, perfect. Hey, Jason, this is George. George is one of my buddies here. I've known him for a long time. He's been asking me some information about the challenge, but I know that he's busy, and I know that you're busy, and I thought that you guys would get along pretty well. I've already gave him a little background, but do you mind sharing a little bit about his story with you real quick? Okay, perfect. I connect them two together on a three-way call, and then what do I do with my phone?
Mute.
Mute. I hit mute. And don't worry about the awkward pauses, okay? Because sometimes the dead silence that an expert does on a call is deliberate. And all you're doing as the expert is you're just asking the other person questions, sharing a little bit about your story and what your goals are to doing with the company. So promote the guest, and that's pretty much it. The purpose right now is contacting the 3 a days, because if you don't contact the 3 days, do you ever have a need for an expert?
No.
No. Because if you're just out there constantly studying, getting ready to get ready, and this is where it gets hard on this point, because right now you're in a class of people right now that are going to start growing and start becoming very intentional with this business, and you're going to watch it, and you're going to get frustrated if you're not running the plays and running the activities and running the steps, because you'll get frustrated because you'll start to see the other people just follow the simple patterns, follow the simple numbers, following the simple ratios, and just getting out of their comfort zone and just literally doing it, just going, not waiting for all the lights to turn green. And because they're going to run the numbers, because they're not going to go on an emotional roller coaster, because they'll simply, what they lack in numbers, they'll make up, what they lack in skill, they'll make up in numbers. By default, they're going to go out there and start hitting positions. And what happens is then you're going to feel like you're behind the 8 ball, and you're going to feel like you're trying to catch up, playing over and over and over again. Guys, consistency is key. So action steps here.
Wait, Josh, can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
All right. If we're never supposed to work alone, I need you to explain this to me. We're never supposed to work alone, but then we're supposed to not get anybody on the phone until. Explain that to me like I'm a 2-year-old.
So explain it. What happens is like we always tell people when they never work alone. So when you're we like to run challenge hours with multiple amounts of people, okay? And so especially, it's primarily for the folks that are brand new. It's primarily for the folks that are brand new. But there's also separate groups of folks that they're continually having problems getting folks on the phone, or when they're reaching out to people, they're continually saying too much, or they haven't quite figured out just how to just plant the simple seed and just reach back out to it.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it's not as easy for other people. For me, I couldn't get anybody to reach back out to me for 9 months. It was my delivery was all off. I wasn't practicing enough. I kept making the same things over and over and over again. I was on emotional roller coaster. You know what I mean? So it's just like the folks right there, you're going to have peeps come into your team that they need to be. Our philosophy is actually, I stole it from John C. Maxwell, and he probably got it from somewhere else. I'm not definitely understand that. But first you do it for them, then you do it with them, then you're behind them, and then they're on their own. Okay? For them, with them, behind them, and on their own. So sometimes you have to be with people and do it for them for a while. And then once they start getting it, then you can do it with them. Okay? Then you can do it behind them, and then they're on their own.
Okay.
Sometimes it just takes a little longer to get them. So when we say never work alone, if you're out there trying to reach out to people and you're like, okay, I got to reach out to those folks. Hey, who can go out there and do a Zoom right now? Who can do a Zoom and jump on a challenge hour with me? And you guys would have 10, 20 people out of the whole One Team, One Dream team all jump into a challenge hour and just start working with you guys. Like, hey, I got this lady. What should I say? Hey, I got this guy. What should I say? You guys can totally take that upon yourselves and just jump on one of these Zooms and just start challenging hour with each other.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And especially this group right here. You guys are classmates. You guys are going through the program here. So so let's go ahead and jump right in. My 45 minutes is up here, actually. But the action items to the participants is action one, step one is connect the new customers and the new promoters to the upline to ensure their next steps. So all the customers and promoters that you've signed up over the past 2 weeks, and maybe even that you signed up before, make sure you're connecting your customers and your promoters to the upline to give them the next steps. Step number 2 is schedule your second challenge party. Step number 3, continue connecting to 3 prospects per day. 3 prospects per day. Step number 4, connect 3 three-way calls to your leaders this week. Connect 3 three-way calls to your leaders this week. Number 5, schedule another 2-on-1 with a higher influencer. 2-on-1 is me, you, and them, and we're just sitting down, grabbing coffee, grabbing a caramel, grabbing whatever it is. Just sitting down, just talking. Action steps as far as the videos. All the videos that we're going to be watching is Focus on What You Can Control by Nick Sarnicola. Where are you going to find that video?
That.
3-Way Calls by Mike Craig. The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Rhonda Lucero. And then what I want you guys to do is go to lst.vi.com and watch video number 4 with Ashley Sarnicola. And it's called Gathering Customers from the LST. So, Focus on What You Can Control video by Nick Sarnicola. 3-Way Calls by Mike Craig. The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Rhonda Lucero. And the video number 4 is Gathering Customers on lst.vi.com, and that's by Ashley Sarnicola. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and post the action steps right here on your May lid again here, so that way we can actually follow through. Next Sunday, is that going to work for you guys? Next Sunday night, we do that again. I know last Mother's Day was yesterday, so next Sunday night at 9 o'clock going to work for you guys again?
Sunday's good.
Okay, so let's go ahead and focus on that. But what I want to do is I actually want to make sure that we're taking action right now. So I'm filling out my calendar right now. So let's buzz through this so we can get off on the line. I know the team call is starting here pretty soon. So who's got a party lined up? Where am I at? Where am I going?
6:30.
Okay, wait. Who is that, Shantae?
Yeah, I have one with Christine at 6:30 Wednesday. Greg and Tasha have church.
Shantae, 6:30. I would plug your peeps into my house. There's a group-wide challenge party at my house. Can you bring them over to my house Wednesday?
Wednesday? Yeah, I can do Wednesday at your house.
I would plug them all into my house. 6:30, Shantae, my house. So Wednesday at my house, I'm having a big group.
Christine, are you on here? Is Christine on here?
I don't see her.
No, she wasn't able. Okay.
Hey, Josh.
Hopefully she gets this recording and catches up real quick, because otherwise she'll be a day behind. So, okay, Shantae, done. Who else we got?
Me.
Tobin, what day we got?
I got a question quick.
Shoot.
Just to let everyone know, because I think some people don't know about that VT2Go, that new app on the phone. That's easier to find videos than the vet. It's still part of the vet. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I think you should. I've had some people ask me, so I think you should tell people about that.
Tell them real quick.
There's an app on your phone that's called VT2Go. I believe some of the videos on there, they're easier to find, and you can download them on your phone. And I think some of them are not that are on vet. So it's just something.
Perfect.
I got 3 parties. Friday the 13th, the 17th, which is Tuesday, and the 25th, which is Wednesday.
Wow. All 6:30?
Oh, the 13th is, look at my phone quick. I think it's 5.
You're good.
Okay.
Let us know closer today. Okay, who else we got?
I have the 15th. I'm doing it 2.
Thursday night, right?
What time?
At 2 o'clock.
Sure.
Sure. At 2.
Okay.
And then I also have, I'm trying to look at my calendar at the same time. Sorry.
No.
Okay, we'll come back to you real quick. Okay, Mary.
All right.
Bree.
Thursday, what time? 6:30 and then 7 o'clock, 6:30 to 8.
I'm looking at the 26th of May, but I'm thinking maybe the 22nd also.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Okay, so who's got their parties all lined up?
I have the 25th also.
Okay.
We'll just do every Wednesday and Thursday night for the week, for the month. Hey, go ahead.
Okay.
Say that.
Well,
Gosh, mine's on the 17th at 6:30.
Bernadette.
Yeah.
15th, 11th, and 12th.
Okay, who else?
Okay, so I'm going to do Wednesday and Thursday nights from what time?
This Wednesday and Thursday?
Every Wednesday and Thursday.
Every Wednesday and Thursday. We're doing it all month.
Dang!
Probably next month too.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah. We don't mess around.
Them's meaning business here. So,
You know that IGA thing?
all right. Well, let's fill those parties up. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Let me know whatever you got. Team calls, 9:30. It's going to be a crazy night for you guys. I get it. Apologize because obviously we couldn't do this last night. Team calls, 9:30. Put your headphones in. Be intentional. Grab onto that. I will not be on the team call because I'm actually hosting the vision call tonight here. So make sure you guys get on that. Make sure you get all your team on the team call because they got some great value and great content they're going to go on here tonight here. But appreciate you guys. Follow these action steps. Let's become intentional. Who's going to be our first AD? Who's going to be the first AD on the class here? Who's going to be the first AD out of this class right here to break this month? We need a pace car. We need the pace car. Who's going to be the pace car? We're looking for the pace car. So I appreciate you guys' intent on here. I appreciate you guys logging on. Seriously, it means a lot to us. And whatever we can do to constantly help you out. Are you guys gaining value out of this so far?
Yes, definitely.
Hey, Josh.
Absolutely.
Where's it recorded? Where can we view this again? Is it possible?
Same thing. As soon as I do this, I put the recordings right back on here for you guys, so you can come right back on here and grab it.
How do we know what month or what day, what group? How do we know how to do that?
You're on Drive to AD, so it's gonna be right there on that page right there for you.
Okay.
Right on there. And then, so guys, make sure that we're going out there as we're getting the victories. Make sure you're going public. So Alema, go on that May to AD. Got my first customer here on the call. Got my promoter. Start taking selfies of your challenge parties while you're in there. Blow that thread up. Make sure everybody else can see just exactly what you guys got going on. So appreciate you guys. Have a great night.